Imagine this. Two friends graduate from college the same year. Same degree, same salary, same city. 10 years later, one of them owns a house worth $850,000. The other, still renting. So who do you think is richer? Most people answer that question instantly. The homeowner. But here's the twist. In many cases, that answer is completely wrong. And the reason why might completely change how you think about buying a house. Welcome to Bad Advice Finance, the show where we explore the worst financial advice people follow and the real lessons behind it. Today's bad advice: your house is your biggest investment. For decades, we've heard the same advice. Parents say it, banks say it, real estate agents say it, and sometimes even financial advisors say it. But today we're going to break down a simple question. Is your house really an investment, or is that one of the most expensive financial myths ever created? Let's go back to our two friends. Let's call them Alex and Jordan. They both graduated 25, both making $80,000 a year. Alex decides to buy a house. Jordan decides to rent. Alex buys a $450,000 house, 20% down. Mortgage payment, taxes, insurance, around $3,200 a month. Jordan rents an apartment for $2,200 a month. Everyone tells Alex, "Great decision, you're building equity." Everyone tells Jordan, "You're throwing money away." For the first few years, Alex feels great. He's a homeowner. Jordan feels a little behind. He's just renting. But something interesting happens over the next decade. Owning a house is expensive. Things break, roofs leak, air conditioners fail, property taxes go up, insurance goes up, and maintenance never ends. A common rule in real estate is that homeowners spend about 1 to 2% of the home value per year on maintenance. For Alex's house, that's around $6,000 to $9,000 a year. Meanwhile, Jordan is renting. When the water heater breaks, he calls the landlord. When the roof leaks, not his problem. Jordan has something Alex doesn't: flexibility, and more importantly, extra money every month. Jordan decides to invest the difference. Every month he invests $1,000 in a simple index fund. Nothing fancy, just consistent investing. Over 10 years, that investment grows. Meanwhile, Alex is building equity in his house, but most of his mortgage payments early on go to interest. After 10 years, Alex's house has increased in value. That sounds great. But when you subtract property taxes, maintenance, insurance, interest paid, closing costs, the actual return looks very different. Suddenly, the situation isn't so obvious anymore. Now let's pause the story for a moment, because this is where things get really interesting. There's a simple comparison almost nobody makes. Compare two numbers. 1, the interest rate on the mortgage. 2, the expected return of the property. Let's say a house costs $500,000. The mortgage rate is 7%. That means a large portion of your payment is financing cost. Now ask a second question. What is the expected appreciation of the house? Historically in the U.S., real estate appreciates around 3 to 4% per year on average. So think about that. If you're borrowing money at 7% to buy an asset that grows 3 to 4%, who's getting the better deal? The bank. But there's another way to think about it. Let's say an investor buys a property and rents it out. If the rent fully covers the mortgage, taxes, insurance, maintenance, and still leaves positive cash flow, that means the property is producing income. In that case, the renter might actually be paying for the owner's investment. But if the rent is lower than the true ownership cost, then renting could actually be the smarter financial decision, and the renter could invest the difference elsewhere. This is why the rent versus buy decision is not always obvious. So what happened to Alex and Jordan? After 10 years, Alex sells his house. It went up in value. That sounds like a huge win. But after paying realtor fees, closing costs, maintenance, taxes, interest, the profit is smaller than he expected. Jordan, meanwhile, has a large investment portfolio because he consistently invested the difference. Suddenly, the story flips. The renter might actually be wealthier than the homeowner. Now let's be clear about something. Owning a house can be wonderful. stability, control, a place to build a life. But that doesn't automatically make it an investment. A house is primarily a place to live. An investment is something designed to produce returns. And confusing those two ideas has cost many people a lot of money. So here's the real question. If you had the choice today, would you rather own a home worth $800,000 or have an $800,000 investment portfolio? Let me know in the comments. And remember, just because everyone says something is an investment doesn't mean it actually is.